Welcome back to the Dead Pine Archives. My name is Dan, and I'm here with Neil and Kelly.
Hello.
Hello.
And today's episode, I'm going to be going over the John Lau Saloon.
So where is the John Lau Saloon?
It is in downtown Alpena.
Alpena. All right. Yeah.
I don't know where the hell that is.
Are you sorry?
What?
Alpena,
I barely know her. What?
No, I did my brain immediately did a Lois Griffin, just Alpena.
What?
I don't know! I was initially going to say, a saloon always reminds me of the Wild West, and when you said the John Lau Saloon, I just wanted to hear a and then I immediately shifted gears to Alpena.
Oh my god. Beautiful, beautiful.
Already off the rails. Please.
New intro for the show.
Please get us back on track.
I want Kelly to actually introduce every episode that way.
Pena. I'm sorry. I will not let this be my vocal stim for the show.
It will 100% be your vocal stim.
No.
Anyways, Alpena, Michigan. I don't know where it is.
I thought originally it was in the UP, but that's wrong. It's Lower Peninsula, closer to the tip, but on the east side of the state. So our side of the state.
Oh, okay. All right.
But 4 hours north of us.
That
okay, yeah. Well,
sounds accurate, honestly.
That makes sense because I've heard the name, but I don't know. I didn't know where it was either.
Yeah. Well, so this saloon was in downtown Alpena on North 22 Avenue, 2 blocks north of the bridge over Thunder Bay River.
Oh my god.
I know, it was a really cool name, so I want to do that. So it was built in 1885. Originally, it was a funeral parlor and a furniture store. Owned and ran by
Both?
Yes. I think so. Later on, it does explain that the saloon was actually, it took over the business next to them. So I think the one next to them was the funeral, and then the original store was just a furniture store.
Chairs for sale.
Because they do
Haunted
say later
chairs
on.
For sale.
They do say later on the neighbor was a funeral store or a funeral parlor. So that's what I'm assuming. But it just was really funny because that's how it's originally written. It's just it used to be a funeral parlor and a furniture store.
I mean, funeral homes got chairs. I don't know.
And that's true. It was ran by an Irish immigrant named Peter Owens.
Ooh,
There's not much more on it. Oh my God.
And that one wasn't even me.
And then in 1892, a German-born man named John A. Lau and his wife Agnes took over the location and then renamed it John Lau Saloon.
Interesting.
In what year?
1892.
Okay.
The year
What?
In 1892,
yeah.
In 1892, John Lau sailed the ocean blue. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, so the saloon opened mostly for the locals and lumberjacks and shipmates and all that kind of jazz, as you do with saloons. It was there was this one part that someone had put down, and I thought it was great. They said it as it was as if it was a fact, but I didn't really quite see it anywhere else. But they said that the saloon employed 3 bartenders, 1 Catholic, 1 Irish, and 1 German. Apparently, John believed this would attract more customers from all the churches in the area. And I thought that was hilarious. It sounded like the beginning of a joke.
That sounds like the granddaddy of all this person walked into a bar joke.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to say it. That's a smart move on his part.
Honestly.
He was no matter what church you're part of, we got you a bartender.
Yeah.
The saloon did keep a positive reputation beyond John's life for it being a place that was good atmosphere and good food.
All right. Well, good for John's legacy.
Yes.
So the funeral furniture store.
Yes.
So
I'm pretty sure what he took over was the furniture store, and the neighbor building that's connected was the funeral parlor. They didn't have that one at first. That comes later on, where it does.
And then
get
the funeral
acquisition.
home went under, and they were like, "We'll throw in the crematorium for free."
There's stuff there. Yeah.
It just sounds like something Ed Gein would open up.
We have these really nice chairs and a
Look
few
at this
dead bodies.
lampshade.
It's out of human skin.
You know?
So John and Agnes, they had 3 children, Alfred, Madeline, and little baby Agnes. Oh my God.
Little baby Ignat.
Though unfortunately, baby Agnes did not survive past 5 months. Yep. And then on June 24th, 1913, Agnes herself passed away. There were several speculations as to what was her cause of death. The main three were like consumption, tuberculosis, childbirth, or a boating accident near Saginaw.
Okay.
Specifically that.
I am surprised that in those top three isn't a serial killer targeting Agnes's.
Right? Well, and I just like
took the
I like that
first.
they're like, oh, her life ended in 3 ways. 2 of them are diseases. 1 is by boat. Like, one of these doesn't necessarily belong.
Childbirth is not a disease.
I forgot what the second one was, but it's still a bodily issue.
That's true.
It's not like you can't. There's no.
Maybe she was ready to give birth.
There's no quote unquote
and
natural
a boat
cause
accident.
of getting bodied by a boat.
It seems pretty natural to me. No. Yeah, so she did die. John would continue to run the saloon on his own after her death. So we're getting up to about, I think it was the 1920s. So when the Prohibition hit, they had to close their doors because, bar.
Why? Right.
But they reopened it as a soda pop store and then bootlegged booze out the back.
Well,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they did get caught and they did have to close down after that. But in 1922, Lou then died.
My weak ass. I'm just here for the soda pop.
I'm like, I don't need your legal. Give me that straight up. Oh, I'm sorry, the Coca-Cola that had actual cocaine in it. I don't need your booze. Anyways,
I want to float.
But he died. I won't float, please. He died at age 53, and Agnes had died in her early 30s. So they do kind of bring that up that she was pretty young when she died.
Yeah.
So his funeral, because it was in 1922, and that's only a few years after the 1918 influenza pandemic, they actually had
that killed Edward Cullen.
Yeah, true.
Almost, if not for the loving grace of Carlisle.
I mean, it depends. His soul was damned, so was he really brought back alive?
Right.
Dead Pine Archives giving you the history lessons that you really want.
And also, super fresh references.
It doesn't go out of style. It's the Renaissance.
It is the Renaissance.
The Renaissance.
The Renaissance. Also, probably the most relevant thing we've said on here so far.
Absolutely.
By
at least 30 years.
Yeah.
Neil, I was listening to the episode about the Henderson Hotel, and you brought up Bonanza. Jesus Christ.
Anyways, he died and there was a restriction on public gathering. So he couldn't get buried, he couldn't have his funeral in a church. So they did actually have his funeral in the funeral home next door. That then slowly ended up getting bought and becoming part of the building.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah, apparently his body would have been laid for people to come and pay their respects where the tavern's fireplace is currently, or was currently.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So that's fun. Shortly after his death, it was shut down federally because they caught on to the illegal alcohol that they were selling.
Yeah.
And then the building was just a bunch of different kind of storefronts for small businesses up until about the 1990s. And then a couple took over, restored it, was doing it as a restaurant. But sadly, in 2018, it burned down.
I'm not trying, this entire history of this, chunk of buildings, it is giving such opening to Bob's Burgers. Because
Absolutely.
there is a funeral home and there's been a restaurant and there's ever-changing businesses. This is real life, obviously, but I'm just sitting here and I'm just hearing the theme music and I'm just like, I think this really happened.
So instead of doing a Lois impersonation, you should be doing a Linda one. I asked and I received. Unfortunately, the building is now actually burnt down. It did survive for a long time in there were a big fire happened in the 1800s or early 1900s. It would have been early 1900s or mid 1900s. And it did survive that. Just didn't survive this last one. And I felt really bad because the people who owned it, they were like, oh, we bought it because we were going to fix it up and resell it and everything. And then we ended up washing dishes and doing a restaurant for 40 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they were like, we loved it, but it wasn't the idea. And they had like completely restored, like, I think the second floor or something. And, you know, they were slowly getting to it. They were like in talks with like the, you know, historical society and everything to get everything done. And then it, building near it caught on fire or whatever, and it sparked it up and it just went.
I'm sitting here as though organized firehouses don't exist, and I'm just like, somebody's got to fucking do something about these fires.
Well, and I think it's...
When will they stop?
I think it's because it's old buildings, so they're probably not built to, you know, survive a fire or to stop a fire, and it's one of those ones that are conjoined, so I feel like you catch on one and just goes.
100%. That's how the city of Chicago burned down.
Yeah.
Did you guys know? I found out recently that when it comes to fire stations and their engines, there are like, they do get checked out to make sure that they're like certified and everything like that. But it used to be that they would put in an order for a new truck every like 4 or 5 years or so. And it takes a minute for the truck to get built because it has to have all these like new things, and different firehouses, depending on their budget and depending on what area they're serving, have different things. Like some of them need a longer hose, some of them need higher ladders and stuff like that. But now, due to inflation and the fact that fire trucks are supplied by private companies now, where they didn't used to be, they have to submit an order for a new truck like 10 years in advance, and they cost well over $1 million when they used to cost like between like 200 and 500,000.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That's crazy.
And you know what's crazy is that we actually know someone who is in a firefighter position, and the amount of underpaid and like keeping them at part-time, but then making them work basically full-time and not getting benefits is ridiculous.
Well, and also like half the time you like, because if they don't submit that request for a new truck, then like on time, then they just don't get one and they have to work with outdated shit. And I was always under the assumption that like, you know, it's paid for with like
our taxes.
Yeah, but no, they're supplied by a private company.
Which is absurd.
That's bonkers.
I don't understand that.
All
when
these
like
fires.
Well, and that's like fire trucks, police cars, and ambulances should be covered. Why do we have a freaking tank in a small town when we can't have newer fire trucks then? Like, that doesn't make much sense.
Well,
to
that
me.
was a gift.
I would like a gift of a fire truck.
Yeah,
they're
but
cooler.
Unfortunately, the United States military doesn't make a lot of fire trucks to hand out, but they do make a lot of tanks.
But what if they made a
They
tank
make the opposite of the fire truck.
They make the fire starting truck.
But I
Sorry, we're trying to talk about spooky stuff and then real life came in and hit because that's spookier.
Question though, wouldn't the army still need fire trucks though?
Why?
Because if their base caught on fire?
They have them, I'm sure, but they don't have a surplus of them to give away to smaller cities.
Not when they cost $1 million.
Which is, you know, why all these smaller town police departments have all of this crazy military surplus fucking bullshit like a tank.
Which I will say, I guess, like, instead of it just sitting and doing nothing, I guess it's cool that they're, like, at least, like, divvying it up so that, like, someone get, like, I don't know.
I mean, if you want it to be real, if you want it to be, like...
I'm not saying that they need a truck or a freaking tank. I'm just saying, like, at least it's... At least they're not going, like, getting, you know, defective guns or something. I don't like this. I don't like any of this conversation I'm having right now.
I'm just saying, depending on the size of the barrel of the tank, you could always just fill, like, a bunch of Home Depot 5-gallon buckets with water, put it in, and then blast it at a fire out of the tank.
Has anyone tried
this? Is the kind of thinking we need.
Innovative. Someone, quick, to the police.
This is the future liberals want.
Thank
you for the firehouse knowledge. Also, Rachel, friend of the show.
Aw, Rachel, you are a friend of the show. I love you. Anyways. But yeah, so that's basically the story. There wasn't too much to it. They do think that the resident ghost, though, is Agnes. And I have a little stuff on her.
Big Agnes or Little Agnes?
Big Agnes.
Okay.
I don't think little Agnes could do much at 5 months.
She's just crawling along. Just a little
5 months.
Ghostly little blob.
Ghostly little blob. That makes me really sad. No, it is adult Agnes in
Adult
her
Agnes.
early
She's
Early
just
30s
like
Agnes.
a little nightgown that makes her look like a little jellyfish. Just like floating along.
Beautiful, beautiful. I hope that for her. Yeah, so the resident ghost is believed to be Agnes. Many see her when they're passing the saloon, or did before it fucking burned down.
Mm.
But many saw her like through the windows, and it would be a lone figure sitting and staring out of a second-story window, even when the place was closed down for the night.
Lady in white.
They didn't specifically say white. Someone did say that she is in Victorian attire.
Lady in dress.
I thought you were gonna be like, lady in lots of layers.
Oh, well.
Previous owners and employees have witnessed supernatural activity at the restaurant, when they opened up the funeral part of it, it became more restaurant than just saloon, I think. I don't really know. It didn't say too much. The claims of these ghosts were the figure of a woman floating up the stairway, why are ghosts always on stairways or at the top of stairs?
I think traversing between floors is like the one trick they have. And they're just kind of doing like a ha-cha-cha-cha.
I just feel like every story they're like at the top of the stairs. You'll see them standing menacingly.
I don't know how quick it would get old if I had like floating powers to just be like, oh, look at me going up.
No, literally.
Going down.
Like, oh, I'm going down the stairs.
Yeah.
But you're just going through the floor.
And sometimes I can't help but wonder if these like historical accounts of ghosts and whatnot are people that are too embarrassed to say like, I opened the door in the middle of the night and it was standing in the toilet and I got scared. There's like, she was at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, that's where I saw her.
That's what I would love to do. If I were a ghost, if I had to be stuck here, unable to interact with most things, I would stand in the toilet and just be like, oh,
Give me your pee-pee.
They're too scared to ever use that toilet. Oh my lord. I'm just going to hang out in the washer. It's fine.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Other than that, people claim to experience cold spots, strange scents, disembodied voices, footsteps, etc., which I do think is just kind of common when it's an old building. I feel that old buildings are not built to be soundproof and or correct.
Right. And if it's a building around from the 1800s, I expect it to have some weird smells.
That's we had talked about the Holly Hotel where like certain smells would come through, and while those were very specific, cigar and like perfume, the perfume is the hardest one to believe because perfume doesn't usually stay that long. But like at some point those smells are in the walls, and different humidity and heat and stuff is gonna release something, right?
All these romanticized ghost stories about like perfume and cigars and everything, when you know it's just lead and mothballs and ammonia.
I'm gonna say nowadays you're gonna get a ghost smell and be like, is that some dank weed?
And just be like, Axe body spray.
Oh no, there's gonna be so much.
Chad was here.
So apparently she's pretty chill. She doesn't do too much if she likes you. If Agnes is not fond of a certain employee, she will make her feelings known. She has thrown things at them, made them drop their trays, tipped trays over, and pranked them mercilessly.
Pants them.
She's also very fond of scaring employees when they go into the basement. They have like a cellar basement thing.
Pants them.
Is this cellar, was it originally like under where the saloon was cellar where they were bootlegging out of, or is it under where the funeral home was where they were probably prepping bodies?
So I don't know if it is all one conjoined basement or not, but I do know that they do have a cellar under what was the funeral home because that was the embalming room.
Yes.
They do have stories of that, and there have been told like people were like they really see her in the restaurant and on the side of the funeral home, even though she wouldn't have been there. Was once so Owens owned both of those, apparently. I don't know, it still says Owens in my notes. But the saloon's banquet room was once the Owens funeral parlor. The shadowy figure of a woman dressed in 1800s clothing has been seen on occasion in that very room. Not only that, but the embalming took place in the basement, where current employees are occasionally frightened by some unseen presence. So,
Lady in dress. Did we? I forget. I feel like we talked about it at some point about how the whole like all the jokes about like the spirit is stored in the stone and everything like that. And how we've had those talks, right, about how there are certain places that people claim are haunted by the people that owned the place or this, that, and the other. But then there will be some instances where people will say that even though like a house was built by some people, they fucked off for 40 years and now they're mysteriously haunting this place. Mm-hmm. If you had to like, esoteric question. If you had to assume where somebody would haunt after they've passed away, do you think they would be more likely to haunt the site where they died or a place anywhere in the world that has like significance? I would assume where they died.
I think it depends, and it also depends on what level of ghost we're talking about and like level of consciousness, because some people say it's just strong leftover energy. So if you spent every day of your life at this restaurant, but then you went home and it was kind of like not a big deal, maybe the restaurant, or maybe you do when you die. And also for her, we don't really know where she died. Or how. So it could have been in there. It could have been not. We do know that her husband did die in there.
The boat could have hit her in the saloon.
Could have. It could have near Saginaw. I don't know how that happens. But.
Also, earlier when I was like, there's no natural way for a boat to just body somebody, I was like, what if there's a tornado and then the tornado picks up the boat and then it whips it at them?
You can get hit by a boat that is like, a sailboat.
What if she's riding her bicycle in the middle of a tornado and a boat comes through in the middle of the...
Unnatural! The bike negates all natural... No, I don't.
I just am thinking that maybe she had the possibility of going to Oz, but...
Yeah. I wanted to ask that question also because I have a personal stake in it because I took a different route home from work today.
And got hit by a boat.
I am dead. That's why the mic was weird. No, I was driving by through like that area that I don't normally go through. And my grandfather used to be at this nursing home and I was passing by it and I hadn't passed by there in a minute. And that nursing home had been like for sale for the last like 10 years, but it was still like functioning like for decades before that. Only just now I passed by it and I saw that they tore it all down, which A is crazy. And B, the first thought I had was if people haunt where they've died and a nursing home just got torn down, I feel like that's like cracking open a hornet's nest and there are many ghosts loose in the city right now.
They were already old and didn't know where they were. Now they are on the streets.
I pictured just like a million orbs just being like, ah! Just like going around and be like, the city looks different. There's a downtown area now.
The youths.
Oh my God, is that an Amazon warehouse?
They made the bowling alley into a Buffalo Wild Wings.
No, literally, just
the
like
saddest thing that's ever happened.
The diner's a smoke shop.
Yeah, which it kind of already was.
It was. It definitely.
It smelled like cigarettes either way.
Yeah,
even after you couldn't smoke in there.
Yeah.
But so I was thinking about it, and I was like, if people like haunt where they died, a nursing home is just full of bees.
Well, and then you think about that, you think that actually graveyards are probably the safest place then.
Yeah, exactly. That's why when... Oh, the medium's name.
Rick Wade.
That's why
I'm getting his name tattooed on me.
Yes. We shouldn't have been surprised when he went to that one first cemetery and was like, yeah, there's nothing here.
Well, and again, people think that they follow their body or their place of rest or, an object sometimes. I think if we knew what kind of ghosts were like ghosts or if they're, like it depends. Sometimes people are like, oh, it's just like, time's not real and it's all, on top of each other. It's not linear. And so when an event's happening, it's happening at the same time that this is happening technically. And things can get passed that way. I think it really, really depends on what you think the ghosts are, I guess.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, no, that's legit because, you think of like residual energy, right?
Hospitals are the worst.
Well, sure. I mean, like if that's like.
If you stay where you die.
If you stay where you die, like, yeah, for sure. Hospitals would be like the most haunted places.
Yeah, and it goes with the whole thing of like, is it an emotional attachment that like ties you to the earth there or not? Because like some people, they're like, I'm fine with it. Like I'm old, I'm passing. And
that's why it sounds like so weird and abstract whenever we cover a story where like some rich people built this like mansion, but then they did go to like the Netherlands for like 30 years and then died there. And then they're like, the lady of the house is the lady in the dress.
I guess also it depends. Maybe it's wherever like they was like, that was my home, like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
That might be it too, right?
Yeah. Maybe you get to decide. Or maybe you don't.
Where do I want to haunt?
you better be hunting right next to me. And we will both be wearing Lady in White.
Or just lady in dress.
Lady in dress.
We would be ladies in black. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, I would for eternity in a white dress. Oh my god. No, also I'd have a top hat just to piss you off. Lady in top hat. She's dancing in the... I don't know the actual words. If we can, so it doesn't matter.
If we can change outfits, but people can see us occasionally, I want to scare somebody in a fursuit.
Out of everything I thought you could possibly say,
Doug,
that was not it.
How fucking funny would that be? I have not.
I swear to God, I just saw a blue dog.
If anybody is listening to this, if you have a true account of a furry haunting, I need you to write in.
We will invite you in as a special guest. I will pay for your plane ticket.
I
not
have
today,
never heard of a specter in a fursuit, and I need.
How would you know?
What do you mean?
How would you know it's a ghost?
It would be see-through.
I don't know. Not all of them.
Dan, not all angels have wings.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Some have peats.
There are two sayings about furries in this friend group, and I will repeat them right now so our listeners can hear it. The first one is every time that we see a memorial piece for an animal that says not all angels have wings, some have paws, Neil goes, oh no, a furry died. And then every time we see a furry out in summer, because the balls of steel on those ones, and when it's hot as hell, Kelly does say stronger than any U.S. Marine.
Now, if anybody
is a Marine
who has done active duty is listening, that is not necessarily.
The only way we'll know is if someone who was an active Marine puts on a fursuit in 95-degree weather and walks outside in the sun, and then you can tell us if we are exaggerating or not. I would
All
like
I'm
that.
saying is that they're choosing to do it for fun and occasionally for profit. And I don't see a lot of active military dudes putting on their whole gear for fun. And if you do, I don't want you to talk to me.
Okay. Anyways, if you happen to know one, have them try this out for us, and then we can do a tally on who is stronger, a U.S. Marine or a furry.
We don't have to do that. I'm just saying they're doing it in their leisure time, and they're so strong. They're going to festivals and standing on their peats for hours.
Stop saying peats, because I think you're saying penis.
Pena.
Oh my God. Anyways. Back to some of the ghost stuff that has been seen about Agnes. Apparently, there are some pictures of her that people from when they would come and eat have gotten of her. I didn't really see any, but I'll do a quick search again. I don't know. And then the Mid-Michigan paranormal investigators apparently had gone there several times and got interesting results.
Ooh.
They didn't give me an answer, but it said interesting results.
I'll take it.
That's it. They're like, yes. How'd it go at fucking Lau Saloon last night? Interesting.
It was very interesting.
Care to elaborate? No.
I can't divulge my sources, but it was very interesting.
We encountered a ghost. I guess you could say we went ghost hunting.
Yeah, a quick look online. I didn't see any photos of Ghost, but I do have some photos for you guys of how the place looked.
Neat.
So there's this one first.
Well, and it's also a shame that so many of these places burned down, because I want us to plan road trips and whatnot, but half the places are just burnt.
Every time I'm halfway through researching, it's gone. And I'm like, no!
Son of a bitch!
So this is the bar.
Oh, fun.
Oh, that looks cool as shit.
Cool hats.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna own all those hats.
No? What the fuck?
Another picture of the bar.
Dang,
honestly, the clock behind it looked like a ghost.
Yeah, it did.
That is the most bar I've ever seen.
Another classic bar photo.
Ooh.
Them ceilings is high and also pretty.
The pressed tin ceiling, yeah.
And then this was the snippet in the news of him dying.
Oh, shoot, okay.
Yep.
John A. Lau dies suddenly. North 2nd Avenue businessman succumbs to heart attack.
Oh.
The death of John A. Lau, lifelong resident of Alpena and well-known businessman of North 2nd Avenue, died at 1:30 o'clock today at his home, where he had been ill for the past 2 weeks with heart trouble, which was the cause of his sudden death. Mr. Lau was not believed to be in a serious condition until this morning. That
So
very much
how is that sudden if it's been 2 weeks of him not feeling well?
that very much sounds like that writer had to hit a word count.
Yeah.
Mr. Lau died today, which is Tuesday, which was the day after yesterday, but also it was very sudden after 2 weeks of
Heart troubles.
of heart troubles for 2 weeks. He died suddenly, and he is dead now. Death
Suddenly.
means forever. Suddenly, the end.
Hugs and kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
And then
XOXO, Gossip Girl.
there was a review that I read and I thought it was good enough to share with everybody. So it does do a little bit of a recap on what I've already said, but I'm just going to read the whole thing. The saloon has great food and friendly people, but it's best known for its residents' ghost. As the story goes, the original owner's wife died in childbirth and to this day inhabits the saloon. They say if she likes you, she leaves you alone, but if she doesn't, she can be a bit mischievous. Nothing malicious, just the occasional tap on the shoulder or glass rattling. There's a spot at the top of the stairs where they say her soul likes to linger. I went up there and I came back down pretty quickly. I admit it, I was a little spooked. The big scare of the day happened while I was sitting near the fireplace. I looked in it and actually saw the face of a child. It really genuinely scared me until I found out, with a great embarrassment, that it was a two-way fireplace and it was actually just a family sitting on the other side waiting for a table. A ghost hunter, I am not, but food, that I can handle. And we handled a great lunch that day.
There's just a little girl staring into the ghost baby.
She turns around to the fireplace. You got any games on your phone?
No, literally.
I was looking up, like, people's experiences, and that's the only one that came up. And I just loved they were like, genuinely was more scared than anything in my life.
Dude,
it
that's
was, in
so
fact,
funny.
a living child, which made it worse.
It's like literally you see through the fireplace, they're just picking their nose like, oh no, a child!
Well, when it started off and she was like, the fireplace, that's where like his body technically was on display. So I thought, and then she was like, a child's face. And I was like, they never said anything about a child like haunting this place, but okay. And yeah.
That's really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Those two-way fireplaces get some people.
They get me.
I want to hear this story from that child that's probably now grown. Like, this one time a lady called me a ghost and screamed.
Yeah, this one time I was just sitting in front of this fireplace and my parents dragged me to this place and I was just sitting there and all of a sudden on the other side of the fire I saw a horrified woman's face.
It haunts me to this day.
It haunts me to this day.
I think she was the
saw a
ghost.
Right.
Yeah, that's basically it. Now that the place is no longer there, we don't know if Agnes stuck around or if she decided it was her time to go.
I was going to say, I wonder if there were, like, if they've started building something else or what the plans are with it or whatever. Because you said that was in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, like, it's been a minute. I wonder, like, if it's in kind of the center of town, I wonder, like, if they just were, like, vacant lot.
Let me take a look, Ander, because I didn't see anything. Their background.
Oh my god!
Oh, that would have been sick to go to.
Yeah, I just pulled up their Facebook page.
Dude, any historic like building whose interior has a lot of like dark paneled wood that's been like shined like the Dickens.
Now, do they have any plans on rebuilding?
So their last post was in 2020, and while I read that it had burned down in 2018, it does seem that they were functioning in 2020, and then they shut down. And this is the John A. Lau will remain closed during this mandated shutdown. JJ's, which I love that they call it. Why is it JJ's? Doesn't make any sense. Will be open for pickup and delivery. The number to call for orders, blah, blah, blah. We appreciate the support of our customers and look back to when we're going to reopen. And then 5 years ago, someone went, I heard you may be reopening July 22nd. Yes. And then someone said, that's the plan. Stay tuned. And there was nothing else on the page.
Oh my god, did they survive ghosts and a fire and then get taken out by COVID?
I don't know.
Wait, they said they may be open when?
It was like July 22 or something. I don't know. But they said that's the plan. But I assume that was like
They were
2020.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
If.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Because
Because it burnt to the ground
Right
on July
after that.
21st.
Okay, yeah.
The day
yeah,
before.
No, I just found
Jesus Christ!
I literally just found the picture of it. This is...
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it's
They
gone.
Son of a bitch.
They saved the theater, but John Lau Saloon is gone.
Man.
I'll save this picture so you guys can see it on Instagram.
Hot dog.
Also, I don't know why, but on this photo that someone took of it, it says "Gone to the Snow Dogs" written like on the like it's like put on to the picture. I don't know what that means.
What?
Yeah, it's right
That's
here
got to be like
in
somebody's.
the corner.
See, this is. Yeah. See, this is exactly why I get mad about like vanity plates that have something written on it that is clearly an inside joke. I want to know what you mean.
Yeah, 5 years ago, a lot of people were very upset. So hard to see this. They had really worked hard on the restaurant. I hope they are able to rebuild, and I hope the theater will be up and running soon. So very sad. Glad no one was hurt. So good news is it doesn't sound like anyone was hurt, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, very, very sad.
These fucking fires.
And then someone goes, "This is why places should not be so close."
Well, fuck, man.
Have you ever heard of a city?
The
Yeah,
town was
right.
built in like the fucking 1600s. What do you want?
Also, yeah, the person that was like, in the early 1900s and before, there was no such thing as building codes.
Jeez, well,
And then they
yes, that's
said-
true.
True.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's really upsetting because for a second there I had my
What?
hopes up because I thought the fire was in 2018, but maybe that was a different fire that it did serve. Maybe that was
What
the
is
fire
it
it
with
survived.
These
I don't
fires.
know.
Dan, what are the crossroads?
It was North. Hang on, I have it in my notes. North 2nd Avenue, and it just says 2 blocks from the bridge over Thunder Bay River.
Alpena. Well, because there's Lucky Rabbit Tattoo, which is near the river and near North 2nd, so I'm trying to get my bearings on where the hell that is. Let me look. Street view.
Oh, even
Google
the
enhance.
outside looked cool.
Go show me this guy's balls.
This is what
Did
it
it?
looked like most recently, literally like right before the fire.
Yeah, see, that looks
Yeah,
like a
that
great
looks
place.
great.
It was an old brick
Like
building, but
historic.
like has like the nice like the black painted over the like windows and everything in the bottom. Again, I'll just save the photo.
There are a
but
couple tattoo shops over there.
I don't know how Alpine does her tats, but I guess we'll have to look. But yeah, I will say even all these posts about it that were from 2020 and even before that, everyone on everything I've seen was like, oh, the place was a great place to like go and eat. It was a really good place for the community. It used to be the center of the downtown in Alpine, but now it's part of more of the old district and downtown has kind of moved a little bit.
Sure.
But I guess it doesn't matter anymore anyways because it's gone.
But I guess it doesn't matter anyway.
I found out what Gone to the Snow Dogs is.
Okay,
Oh
what
my
is
God!
it?
I love context.
Okay. So that mark, apparently maybe they used it for one of their videos, but it's these people who own like 3 huskies and they have a blog, a website, a YouTube channel dedicated to their huskies
my God.
called
Cute. Let me
Gone to the Snow Dogs. And I was looking at it to like confirm. I'm pretty sure they live in Michigan,
Oh, yeah.
which would
well,
make
yeah.
sense because I like wanted to confirm that because that was like the first thing that came up because on Facebook, they have 2.6 million followers.
Oh my gosh,
God.
Gone to the Dogs. Hello. Snow dogs.
Hello.
And yeah. Oh, they have 241,000 followers on Instagram. They have a TikTok.
Oh my gosh, go check them out. They took a great picture of the building burnt down.
I know nothing else about
I know
them.
nothing else except for apparently there's huskies, and who doesn't love dogs?
And on this past October 12th, so a little over a month ago, they did a meet and greet with the dogs at the Novi Pet Expo.
Aw.
I'm going to meet these dogs. I'm going to shake their paws and say thank you, sirs and madams. I'm waiting to see a picture.
This is, I don't,
Story of
it's a really bad, sorry.
Well, I will say another
This
post.
is one of the dogs.
Oh, okay, that's a pretty husky. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful husky.
The pup.
There is another post that was in 2020, and it was when the restaurant was Oh, no, sorry. There was a post in 2020 that was saying, oh, I miss working so much because of all the shutdowns. And 7 years prior to that, they had posted that it said, my customers rock. And that's because this customer got a $39 bill and they gave $61 as their tip. So they had a crisp $100 bill. The crisp 100, as their bill. Yeah. And if that doesn't tell you that this place seemed to have a good atmosphere and good food, I don't know what does. And I'm real sad. Oh, no, I got all to the pictures and videos of it burned down.
Here's all 3 snow dogs.
Okay, they're really cute.
All right, so which one's Carmichael and which one's Wild Andy?
Your joke is above me.
Oh.
We'll show you a video.
I've seen the Light Boy. Oh. Is that the Snow Boys? Is that what you're saying?
Carmichael. Wild Andy. Samson.
Shut up, Samson. We're not here for you. We're here for Carmichael and Wild Andy.
I don't know. The things you learn. I
wanted to say that the one all the way on the left was Wild Andy, but I'm pretty sure that's Samson.
I think that, because he doesn't... He's trying to be hardcore and he doesn't quite match the vibes. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude, I found more pictures of it, before it burnt down, the inside. And it's such a fun little... it's very, tavern, salon.
No, it's historical
salon,
downtown, bar, restaurant.
Well, that sucks.
That does suck.
Gotta stop finding places that are cool. So if you guys want to fund us in owning the Holly Hotel,
right,
we can do that one. It's still there, even though it also was affected by a fire. Please, all I want is to save these buildings from fires. How do we make them up to code?
I don't know. I mean,
there's got to be a way. I don't know. Maybe it's just really expensive, and
that's probably it. Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably money.
Yeah, it always is.
The simplest explanation.
And the way you guys can help is by giving all of your non-existent money to us.
Yes.
So that we have non-existent money.
Or, you know what? If you want to do something a little bit less expensive, 5 stars on Spotify.
Ooh,
is a pretty inexpensive way to go. Oh my God, the holidays are coming up.
You know what we'd love for Christmas? 5 stars on Apple.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going for.
We all have a very different platform that we would like 5 stars on.
What's
or
yours?
A thumbs up. You got Apple Music. You got Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one. YouTube.
Yeah. Comment, subscribe on our YouTube.
Mm-hmm,
yeah, that'd be great.
That's the full present. If you just give me a thumbs up, I will take it, but...
even if you go on one of the posts on Instagram and just treat the comment section as though you're putting Yelp reviews on a bad restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, do that.
Yeah.
I will say
if
I
you
answered
write on an Instagram post, the burger here was terrible. That's very funny.
If you give me a fun and elaborate bad review of a place that you've actually been and you don't necessarily want to ruin their business and put it there, put it in the comments of one of our photos or
honestly,
posts.
Even
do
if
it
you
on our
don't,
YouTube page.
Yeah. Even if you don't explain that it's from somewhere else, that is fine.
Use us as your bad Yelp review diary.
I was very nice to our one comment on TikTok that was yeah, y'all do too much. I was
correct.
You're not
concerned
wrong.
Citizen.
You are
correct.
not wrong.
Hey, I listened to your show and I really didn't like it. So maybe you should change it. Well, miss, respectfully, maybe you're just not.
Okay.
I am but a clown for hire. What do you want? Do you want us to juggle? Do you like newts?
I listened to
I don't have it. I'll find it for you.
I listened to the actual critique. I get what they're saying, and I will work with that. Unfortunately, the part about our humor, I don't think that's going to be able to change at all. This is kind of it.
We are very broken people.
This is all. I was going to say, this is all I have. So, sorry. But that's it. That's our episode for today. We just mostly talked about bullshit.
Peanut.
Oh my lord. Anywho, so that's our episode for today. Thank you again. Like, subscribe, check us out on Instagram, TikTok. Send us an email. I want to see if it works.
Yeah.
What's the email address?
Oh, the email address you asked. I do put it in the description every time, but it is info@deadpinearchives.com.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be info. You could just be like, hey, I said good job. Or, does this work?
Does this work?
I just wanted to see if it works.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hooroo.